All right. Hi, back again. I really didn't go very far. But anyway, here we are. So today I want to talk about some of the key words. And the first two that came up were memory, and then following that was recollection. So in my mind, they're actually one and the same, but different terminology. And I don't know that I would say any different for recollection than I would for memory. So we'll talk about memory from a couple of different points of view. I think I alluded to a universal teaching in one of the other sessions where I said, your mind looks back in order to see ahead. In fact, I think it was Confucius who said, if you would divine the future, see the past. I think here is exactly what he had to say. So your memory works for you obviously every day. You know how to do things because it's in your memory banks. And a lot of things you do automatically. And that's both good and bad, because remember, your patterns of behavior also work automatically. Now, one of the other things your memory does, your mind does, is it draws on your past successes in order to show you how to deal with the current situation. Even though we're moving through time, we're moving through life, and we keep finding ourselves in a new situation, but the reality is, from a different point of view, that the situation you are in is a repetitive situation that looks entirely different than something you went through before. Nonetheless, it is exactly that situation energetically, conceptually, but manifesting differently in the here and now. The people involved are similar to the people that you were involved with back then. The situation is similar to what was going on back then. The emotions you're going through are not only similar, in some cases probably identical to what you went through back then. All of that is a pattern of behavior. And it's what your ego, your emotional self, does in order to maintain its reality. You see, there are four selves that you have. You have your spiritual self, your emotional self. I always call the physical material one and the same, but I'll differentiate the two, as well as your social self. And there, it's your social intellectual self. And those two are different. So I guess I should say there are 6 aspects to you, but 4 selves. Now your spiritual self is that self, and I'm not talking about the religious you, because that's more your emotional self. That's the one, well, I'm following in the family tradition, this is our culture, this is our belief system. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean that it's healthy, doesn't mean that you are growing your spiritual self. You are growing your religious self based on the teachings of man, which may have nothing to do with growing your spiritual self based on the laws of God. And that's what Jesus taught. Everything, Jesus says in the Bible, man doesn't say. Do my sayings. Continue in my word. Believe on me. Look at what I've done. You too can do this. Many will come and do what I have done, even greater works. So, where are they? Can you remember anybody? Well, let me go there a minute. Because on some levels, yes, you may remember someone who spoke to you and pulled you out of the dumps, out of thinking horrible thoughts. And on some levels, they levitated you. They brought you back to life. They raised the dead. Okay? All of the miracles that Jesus did were symbolic lessons of what life is about. Your memory draws on your past to, one, show you how it is you dealt with it in the past. So, through awareness, through manifesting your willpower, you can change how it's going to manifest in the future. History does not have to repeat itself. It does because it's on automatic and there's no thinking involved. You must think, you must manifest your intent to change, and you use your will to do so. And you use your memory. You see, your memory will look back and say, okay, here's how we dealt with the problem in the past. Now, you can either do that, or since I've given you some symbols, I told you, I showed you, you lost your keys, you lost your wallet, okay, you banged up your car, okay, I'm telling you that you are at a point in the cycle where you're losing control of your vehicle. When you know that, that gives you the opportunity to say, whoa, all right, what's going on? What am I involved in? Where are the blockages? Where's the opportunities? You see, if you look in one direction, you miss everything else. And there's a teaching about that as well. And the teaching is about the goat herder or sheep herder, as the case may be, who one sheep went astray, and he went after that. He left the other 99 and said, I love you more. And the teaching there is, when your thoughts go astray, if they go into the negative, go after it, find it, turn it, love it. Not love it in like I accept it and I'm going to indulge in the negative. No. Nurture it, bring it back into the fold of the 99 that are positive thoughts. When you allow a negative thought to go and you don't rein it back in, they're all going to follow. And it'll take you into deep, dark, unhealthy places. So with that in mind, utilize your memory to look back to all the positive things you've done. Look to all of your successes. Whenever a new situation comes up, ask out loud, direct your dreams. How do I handle this from a position of personal power? How do I do this with quiet strength? Your mind will work for you. Your mind, see here's, let's go there a minute, okay? I always got to go back a minute or 2 or 3 or 10. Your spiritual self is getting your directives from the God force, because God wants balance and harmony in the material plane. It's man that creates the disharmony, because we need more of this and more of that. In fact, everywhere you go, they're building storage units for all the stuff that people are buying that they can't keep in their house, that they no longer use. It's still good. You could still use it, but you're being programmed to consume, which could put you into a point of stress, deprivation, denial, patterns of behavior, okay, depletion. You spend all your money buying new things that you don't need, only to put them in storage later. Hello, okay? So seek to draw on your past successes so that you know how to deal with whatever the upcoming situation is. Look for ways to unlock opportunities to change the situation so that you can manifest a positive outcome. Well, hopefully you remember all these things that I've said. A little play on words. If I can't play, I don't go to work. That's just my attitude. Anyway, look back in order to see ahead. Draw on your past in a positive way. And when you find a negative thought coming up, know that it's your mind, your emotional self, seeking to dissuade your spiritual self from manifesting. They have two separate agendas. Your emotional self, your ego, seeks to gain acceptance from man. Your spiritual self is seeking to be in harmony with God, following the teachings of all the great masters, and most of them, if not all of them, said fundamentally the same thing. And here's a list of what they said, and basically it's overcoming the self is the greatest victory of all. And Jesus said, believe on him, look at everything I've done, continue in my word, the truth shall set you free. Free from the ego, free to be the spiritual being you truly are. With that, another word tied in would be recall. I hope you can recall all these different things, work with them. That's the key, is application. So keep the memory active. And in fact, that's one of the things for old age. Do puzzles, watch Wheel of Fortune, do Jeopardy, crossword puzzles, things to keep your mind active. Your mind is a muscle. If you don't think, if you don't work it like any muscle, it'll get flabby. Make it stronger. Anyway, have a fabulous everything, and don't forget anything I told you. Take care and be well.